Alright, here we go. I screwed up on that last one, so let's find out where I messed up. Watch. I put -1 or negative x minus 1. Look what this is. You're subtracting what? You're subtracting this parentheses. You notice it's in parentheses. So really, what is it? It's negative x minus 1. What should happen here? I should distribute that negative, so it's not negative x minus 1. What is it? Negative x plus 1. That really changes things, doesn't it? Subtract a 2 from both sides, so this is not a negative 3. What is it? It's a negative what? It's a 1. You guys with me? I'm answering my own questions. I guess that's okay. So what do we do? You could put this 1 over here. And so plus or minus what? 1, right? What's the square root of 1, though? It's just positive 1, isn't it? It's just or not positive 1. It's just a regular 1. All right, so that should be my answer. But let's check to see if it works. Just for fun. Forget it. Actually, we need to. Let's write it down again. I'll write it real quick. X plus 1 over x minus 1. It's not hard to check because this number is pretty easy. 1 over x. And let's see if it actually does equal this. Oops. Start plugging in before I'm supposed to. Alright, let's put in positive 1. Remember, there's two answers here, aren't there? It looks like it's 1, but it's not. There's a positive 1 and it's a negative 1. Let's see if both of them work. So let's put the positive 1 in here. Put a 1 in here, so it's 1 plus 1, which is what? 2. Put a 1 in here. What's 1 minus 1? It's 0. Wait a minute. Stop right there. What do you think? What's 2 divided by 0? Put it in a calculator. Put it in a calculator. Who's got a calculator? Come on, come on, come on. Quick, quick, quick. Jake, tell me. What is it? Error. Right, you can't do it. You can't divide by 0. You've never learned that? You should have learned that years and years ago. All right? And your teacher should have harped on it every single year. Of course, I harp on it every single year, and then I got kids that I've talked to about this forever and ever and ever, and then they don't remember either. So it's not necessarily your teachers didn't tell you. You just might have not remembered. You can't divide by 0. This is undefined. So can x equal positive 1? No, it can't, because it doesn't give you a solution. All right, if I put a plus 1 in here, a positive 1 in here, I'm going to get a 0 as a denominator, and I can't do that. So I cannot say it's plus or minus 1, can I? I can only say it's what? It's negative 1. Let's just see if negative 1 actually works, though. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's plug some stuff in here. Let's put negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Can I have 0 in the top? Sure. What's this? Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. All right, over 1 over, what I say, it's negative 1. And let's see if that actually equals this side over here. What do we say x was? Negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Let's see. What's 0 over negative 2? What's 0 divided by a number? That is 0, isn't it? So that's just a 0. Look, minus negative 1, which is plus 1, so that's a positive 1. Let's see what this side is. 2 over what? 2. What's 2 over 2? It's equal to 1. 1 equals 1. Does it work? Yep, it does. And they even give you a hint. Look at it on number 18. Do you see it? It even says hint. It says check solutions, all right? So that's why they did that, because x cannot equal positive 1. Now, will I have that on the quiz? I really doubt it. I don't think it's going to be that difficult on the quiz. But this process right here of multiplying by the common denominator, you see it? That process from here to here, that's going to be on the quiz. It's not going to be exactly like this, but it'll basically be like that. It's actually a little easier. They're regular numbers. Okay, a lot of them are regular numbers, and there's x floating around in there too. It's a little easier, but it's the same process as what I just did right here. So we definitely went a step further, and that's what they do in this book, don't they? The first couple lessons, they give you problems that are just like the examples. But then, all of a sudden, what do they start doing? Not all of a sudden, they eventually make it just a little bit tougher. They tweak it just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Because we did this problem like before lesson 6. I forget exactly what lesson it's on. But before lesson 6, we were doing this stuff. So they had it from at least problem set 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? You've had all that time to practice this kind of stuff. And if you didn't know how to do it, you should be asking me. Right? Every day, don't I ask you if you have questions? And if you weren't able to do something like this, you should have been asking me stuff like that. Right? Come to me. After school, I'm available almost every day after school for a little while anyway. If there's games, I might go like at 4 o'clock, but that gives you a good amount of time to stick around and ask for help. Look at the YouTube videos. Go back and find out where I taught this stuff. All right? They're all labeled. They're all numbered. Go back and find out where I taught it. All right, enough of that. Let's go to another problem. Okay, I messed up again. That was 23, right? Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do problem set 9 again, but we're going to go to number 20. Right? So this is more like a problem that will be on the quiz. Number 20 from problem set 9. All right, so let's finish drawing this. Doesn't look exactly like, this looks a little skinnier, this triangle in the book, but that's okay. It still all works out the same. That's H, that's B, this is 18. Alright, so the one on the quiz will look, yep, it'll look really, really close to this, almost the same, except these numbers will just be different, that's all. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to go through it quick because we only have a couple minutes left. This right here, this is called the altitude, because it forms a right angle here. This is a geometric mean. Watch what I do. You guys watching? So I put the H here, and I put the H here. That's the geometric mean, and you have to know this. You have to have this memorized. Between what two segments? Between these two segments right here, 3 and 18. You got to know that. This line right here is the geometric mean between 3 and 18. Right, why are you packing up? Cool. So now, watch what we do. Cross multiply, so it's h squared equals 18 times 3. Now what I'm going to do is this, just to simplify. If you want to figure out what 18 times 3 is and put it under a square root, you can, but watch, this is a lot nicer. I'm going to go 9 times 2 times 3. Why do I do that? Because I know I'm going to take the square root. You see that? So watch how nice and pretty this looks. What's the square root of 9? It's 3. I can't take the square root of those, and it's just the square root of 6, and that's your answer. 3 squared root of 6. Let's solve for A. A is also a geometric mean. So you put it here and here, diagonally. Between what and what, though? Not between 3 and 18 again, but between 3 and the whole thing. What's the whole thing? It's 21. So we cross multiply. A squared. Again, watch what I do. I go 21 times 3. I'm not going to actually multiply them together because this is rigged a little bit. Because what's 21? It's 7 times 3, isn't it? Times another 3. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Do you see how nice this works out? It's going to be, watch, 3 times 3 is 9, so that's just a 3, and then square root of 7. See how pretty that is? Let's do B. B is the same type. We're just going to put one different number in there. B is a geometric mean between what? Between 18, the side that's closest to B, and what? The whole thing. What's the whole thing again? It's 21. So it's the same style problem. B squared equals 18 times 21. I am not going to go 18 times 21 and get a big old huge number because I know I'm going to take the square root eventually. So what is that? That's 9 times 2, right? What is that? That's just 3 times 7. Let's see what we can do. We're going to take the square root of everything. So B equals, none of that. I can't take the square root of any of those, but I can't take the square root of this, so that's a 3 square root. The only thing I can do here is just multiply those together. So what is that? 6 times 7 is 42. Alright? And there's your answers right there. That's really how you should write your answers. It's actually a lot easier, isn't it, than throwing it into a calculator, getting some crazy ugly number? Yeah. I would write it like that. Alright? There's one more problem. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to leave it up to you to look at. I mean, I've given you everything already. What's the one that we didn't do? 27. Okay? Look, it's an odd problem. You got the answer in the back. Go to the YouTube video. Try to find out where we did that. And I think I think you've asked a question on this style of problem before, and I think I recorded it, and I think it's on there somewhere. I really do, because I remember doing this a couple times. So go through it, and that's going to be on the quiz as well. All right, be ready for it tomorrow. Yeah, well, I got to finish up the lesson. I was planning on finishing today. This just took longer than I thought it would. So it'll probably be due the next day.